Hello, my name is Jason Wetzel. I would like to begin by welcoming each one of you to my online class and tell you how exciting it is to begin another semester. Math is often a challenging subject for students, which makes an online math course even more challenging, so it's important for you to understand how this course is set up and exactly what is going to be expected of you. During this orientation video, I will give you an overview of my math lab, what you will use to complete all of your assignments. I will go through the course syllabus and I'll show you my website that has some additional resources available to you. But first, I'm going to try and talk you out of taking an online course. There are many advantages of taking an online course. It's a great alternative for students who cannot meet in the classroom each week. There's more flexibility since students can complete assignments at their own pace as long as they're completed before the scheduled due date. The MyMathLab software has many helpful features for students to learn the material, and students have the ability to work ahead and complete the entire course before the semester actually begins. However, these advantages can also be disadvantages. It is the student's responsibility to complete each assignment before the posted due date. The class does not meet each week in the classroom, which makes it easier for students to get behind in their work. It also means I never have the opportunity to observe any of my online students, so giving suggestions as to why they are not being successful is difficult. Students often enroll in an online course because they do not have time to attend class, but then they do not take into consideration the number of hours each week that will be required to complete the online assignments and come into campus to take the test. Some reasons to withdraw from this online course and take a traditional or hybrid course. You took an online course because you do not like math. You have always struggled with math. You think an online course is easier and or less work than a traditional course. You do not have enough time in your schedule to devote 8 hours or more each week to this course. You are a procrastinator. You do not manage your time wisely. You do not think to solve problems. You do not like to solve problems on your own. The average national withdrawal rate for an online class is right around 50%. So the MyMathLab software required for the class. The website, www.coursecompass.com. To register on MyMathLab, you'll need the following: a valid email address. Use an email address you check on a regular basis. All emails I send will go to this address. An access code. You will be asked to enter an access code you can purchase at the bookstore, or you'll be given an option to purchase one online when you register. A course ID. After you finish watching this orientation video, email me your name, course number, and section number requesting the course ID, and I'll send it to you within 24 hours. If you already have an account from a previous class using this textbook, you do not need to purchase another access code. However, if your account was from a class using a different textbook, you will need to purchase another access code. If an access code cannot be purchased at the beginning of the semester, a free 21-day trial period is available. The homework completed on MyMathLab. Homework assignments do not need to be completed all at once. You can start a homework assignment, save it, and finish working on it at a later date. There are infinitely many attempts for each homework problem. Therefore, everybody should have a 100% homework average at the end of the semester. Read each problem carefully and also pay attention to how it wants the answer entered. If you answer a correct answer in a form other than what is requested, it will be marked wrong. For example, if you do not reduce a fraction. Homework can be completed at any computer with internet access. Quizzes in MyMathLab. Each quiz must be completed in its entirety. Each quiz can be taken infinitely many times. After each attempt, you should review your mistakes to understand what you did wrong before your next attempt. However, many times you take the quiz, only the highest grade will count. Therefore, everybody should have a 100% quiz average at the end of the semester. Your quiz grades will let you know how well you know the material and if you are prepared to take the test. If you are doing well on the quizzes, you should expect to do well on the test. If you are not doing well on the quizzes, you should not expect to do well on the test. Quizzes can be completed at any computer with internet access as well. Tests. Tests must be completed at the assessment center or testing center on any Midlands Tech campus other than the Fairfield campus. It is the student's responsibility to complete each test before the scheduled due date and according to the assessment center's hours of operation. Each test can only be taken once. Students are allowed to review their test after the due date for the test has passed, and a graphing calculator is allowed for each test with the exception of a TI-89. The key to being successful in any class is simply doing the work. The homework and quiz averages tell me how much time and effort a student is putting into the class. I categorize my students' grades from last semester into whether they made an A, B, or C, whether they made a D or an F, or whether they had to withdraw from the course. When I looked at their homework and quiz averages, it shows that the students who do well on the homework and quizzes typically pass the course. The students who do not do well on the homework and quizzes typically did not do well in the course. I always tell my students you are going to get out of the course exactly what you put into it. So let's go ahead and take a look at MyMathLab now. This is the home page for MyMathLab. Off here on the right is where you'd register or set up a new account, obviously as a student. Once you do that, it will automatically list the course here on the left hand side once you log in. I have obviously a number of classes listed here. I'm just going to choose one to show you what it looks like. So go to the home page for that class. It'll have a number of links here on the left hand side. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory. The homework, quizzes and tests. You have a grade book here. You can determine or look at your current average in the class at any certain time or any specific time. The textbook is available online. You can go to any chapter, any page in the textbook and read that chapter, read the section if you need to review something or whatever the case may be. So the homework link. All the homework for the entire course will be already listed here. Next to each assignment, it will give you its due date. Quizzes and tests. You see all the quizzes are listed here as well. The tests have to be completed at the assessment center, so they are password protected. When you go to the assessment center, they will type in the password, giving you access to the test. So other than that, MyMathLab is pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't used it before, just like anything, it'll take a little bit of practice, but most students that want to learn are willing to put in the time and effort, really like all the features available on MyMathLab for learning the material. Some other resources available to you. I have a lot of information posted on my personal website, www.wetzelmath.com. Class notes, videos, and so forth. Free tutoring is available on campus at the Student Success Center. So let's take a minute and look at my website. The home page for my website has my contact information with my posted office hours. If you click your course at the top, you want to choose whether it's an online or hybrid course for the pre-registration page, the course syllabus. We'll look at the syllabus in a minute. But I also have notes posted for each section that you're going to be responsible for throughout the semester. I do update these from time to time, and I'm in the process of recreating a lot of my videos, so I don't have them all posted up here yet, but they will be shortly. So let's take a look at the course syllabus. I'm going to go through the main ideas or the highlights of the course syllabus. You'll certainly want to take it, look at it a little bit further in depth, read it a little closer so you make sure you have a clear understanding exactly how the course is set up and what's expected of you. This is obviously Math 101, beginning algebra. The prerequisite for this class is Math 100 or an appropriate placement score. Go through my contact information again, my office hours posted here. The textbook, which you should have read what the course is based on, but the textbook is not required for this class. You will need a calculator. We won't be using it every single section or homework assignment, but it will be required from time to time. So first of all, since this is an online class, it's your responsibility to know that the very first assignment is an orientation quiz based on this orientation video. It must be completed with a score of 100% by the scheduled due date, or you will be reported as a no-show, in other words, withdrawn from the class. Other ways you can be withdrawn from the class is if a student does not complete an assignment on MyMathLab for a period of 15 days, and if a student has missed 2 tests. After a second test is missed, I will withdraw the student from the class. If I have to withdraw you from the course, or if you withdraw yourself from the class, you will receive a W on your transcript up till midterm. After midterm, if you're withdrawn, you'll still receive a W if you're passing the course, but a WF if you're failing the course. So course requirements, obviously this is an online class. We already talked about MyMathLab. All your assignments, homework, quizzes, and tests will be completed on this software, on this website. I already talked about the orientation quiz, the very first assignment, due the end of the first week of the semester. How the homework, quizzes, and tests are set up. So let's talk about the grading scale, or the grading policy. There are basically a total of 700 possible points for this class. All the homework you do on MyMathLab is worth 50 points. All the quizzes you complete on MyMathLab, 50 points. There's going to be 5 chapter or unit tests completed in the assessment center, each worth 100 points. And at the end of the semester, there'll be a departmental cumulative final exam worth 100 points as well. You can see your current average at any point in time in the semester in the gradebook link in MyMathLab. At the end of the semester, when I'm doing final grades, it'll simply be a letter grade based on the 10-point system. It is important to take note that there are no makeups. If you do not complete any assignment on time, tests, homework, quizzes, whatever the case may be, it will be a 0. There are no makeups, no extensions. If you do miss a test throughout the semester, at the end of the course, their final exam grade will simply count twice, replacing that 0. Or if you take all 5 tests, and if you scored higher on the final exam will replace the lowest test grade, with the exception of test 5. Once again, I would like to welcome each of you to the class. Now that you know more about the class and how it's set up, you should determine if you still want to take an online class, reread the course syllabus posted on my website, and set up your account on MyMathLab and begin working on the orientation quiz. Good luck!